Yes, First Impressions of Earth by the Strokes does hold up. First Impressions of Earth by the Strokes holds up. It is probably one of their best albums. It's debatable between the first album, the second album, the third album. The first album is the set. The second album, Room on Fire. But here's the thing, internet viewer. Did I tell you, podcast listener, internet viewer, whatever you are, I don't know what you are. What do you identify as? Oh my God, I so care what you identify as. I'm really intrigued. What's your identity? If you're a rocker, longtime rocker, who wants to know what's up with Gen Z and what we like, or you're Gen Z and you want to listen to good music, you're like, I heard a Stroke song, and I heard this new Abnormal album. It's kind of interesting, kind of cool. Maybe I liked it. Maybe I thought it was gangster and thought it was cool, or I thought it was lame. Either way, you're in the right place because that's what you're going to get today, okay? So, before we break down First Impressions of Earth, please, dear viewer, send this video to a friend who needs better taste in rock music. You have 5 seconds to razor blade Vision of Division this album into your friend's inbox. Please, juicebox the inbox of your friends. Juicebox is the second song on the album. Then we come over here. So, you have 5 seconds to send this to a friend, or else I'm going to blow up an orphanage in Minecraft. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. You did it? Okay, let's get into the review. Let's get into the action. Waiting for some action. Who say, why won't you come over here? Why won't you come over here? We got a city to love. Why won't you come over here? We got a city to love. Times oceans will lie so slowly. I know you miss the way I slow you. And gold, you're so gold, you're so gold, you're so gold. I am listening to the album right now. That's why I'm singing along with the album right now. So here's the thing. This song is Juicebox. You Only Live Once is so happy, so upbeat, puts me in a good mood. Juicebox is incredible and super, super, super groovy, super good. Learn this song on guitar. You'll have a fun time. If you're a punk band, cover it. If you're a rock band, cover it. This is a straight up rock song. This is the record where they rock the hardest. Now, it's the least focused. The first record's incredible, really good. The second record, I feel like, is more powerful, makes me feel more intense emotions, and really, I gain a lot. This one is more fun, and I really get into fight mode, let's work out at the gym. This is really good. This is dance, this is mosh pit. This is a band you want to flip and see live. This is a great band. Really good. You Only Live Once, good, fun, lighthearted. Juicebox, incredible rock song. Heart in a Cage, incredible. Razor Blade, incredible. On the Other Side, kind of slower. Vision of Division is incredible. Ask Me Anything, good. Electro Cityscape. Yeah. Oh, Eyes of the World. Don't need to tranquilize. Don't need to tranquilize. That it's so good. That's heart-wrenching. This is the album that has the highest highs and the lowest lows. I mean that not in quality, but I mean that in intensity and tempo. This is how I knew the band was truly one of the greatest bands of all time. It wasn't a fluke with the first 2 records. This is the band that makes me listen. This is the album that makes me go, I need to listen. I said band, but this is the album that makes me know I have to listen to Angles and Come Down Machine and the new Abnormal, even if I don't like most of those records, a majority of the record. I've got to listen to the record because this band is one of the bands. And it's this record that cemented that. Because the first 2 records are much more similar. This shows me they can rock harder, but also they can go a little more eccentric and still crush it. This record is going to make me cry, fight, everything. It's me, don't want to learn. Yeah, this is the record that signifies that this band is here to stay. So I first heard the singles to this record when I was a young little Chinese boy. Was it Love at First Sight and Acquired Taste? The singles were Love at First Sight. The rest of it was an acquired taste. What's my favorite song? Oh, Eyes of the World. Eyes of the World is my favorite song off this. Don't be surprised if I cover Eyes of the World at some point with my band Black Licorice when I'm rich and successful and famous and playing shows in hosting my giant SNL meets Saturday Night Live meets Woodstock 97. Friggin' whatever. I have a company and it's gonna be huge within 3 years, and then we're gonna do a giant show that's like SNL meets Woodstock 99. It's gonna be rock and roll with sketch comedy. It's gonna be in Austin, Texas. We're gonna live stream it. Maybe we get to doing it once a week. Maybe we just do it once a month for the first year or two. And it's pay-per-view uncensored, and then it goes live everywhere else like 2 or 3 days later. But when I get to a place like that, I'm playing a song like Eyes of the World. And, Juicebox is really good too. This whole record, it hits a 10. It's a 10 out of 10. It hits a 10. It hits at full cylinders the whole time. To me, this is how I feel about Cage the Elephant with your third record. That's a really good comparison record, because the first two records are really good rock records. The second one is more intense. And then the third one, they kind of change it up and do a wider scope and more ambitious production and songwriting. But Cage the Elephant, it signaled them going away from rock. This one signaled them doubling down on rocking. And so I like this record. I think this is like the dark side versus the light side. First Impressions of Earth is like the hard rocking third album, and Melophobia is the soft rocking third album. Still incredible albums both, but this one's better in my mind because I like hard rocking shit way better than pussy ass Melophobia. I love Melophobia, but this record, I would shoot Melophobia, like I would kill Melophobia and never have it exist. Because this band does intimate and kind of softer. This record does. The band does intimate and soft, kind of like Melophobia does, but it's just more catchy, more fun. And it's 2006. Like, this is when rock music is still, like, alive and well. This is when the first Arctic Monkeys record comes out. Like, you know how good this year was? Good year for music. Good year for rock and roll. Let's see. What is this, the second? No. But you've got the first Franz Ferdinand albums out. The first 3 Strokes records are out. First Arctic Monkeys record's out. You've got like Thick Freakness by the Black Keys is out. White Stripes has Elephant already out. They're probably on whatever. No, Get Behind Me statement I think was 2008. Am I wrong? I don't know. But you got a lot of like the best rock records of all time already out. And the Strokes drop this record. So good. So catchy, so hooky, so unique, so real. You're going to feel things when you listen to this. You're not going to feel things. Well, you'll feel things. But it's just an example of, like a really good Strokes record that I think you're going to see on the next one with Angles. Things are starting to fall apart. So, B-sides. I forgot to mention the other 2 videos. The B-side, that's not for this record, but Modern Girls and Old-Fashioned Men with Regina Spektor. That's an incredible song. That's a classic. Totally unrecognized masterpiece there. So go listen to Modern Girls and Old Fashioned Men. Add that in when you're listening to this record. And then New York City Cops, which was taken off the first record, is really good. One of my favorite songs. If I want the hardest rocking songs from the Strokes, I would say like Take It or Leave It. I would say probably like, New York City Cops. And then what is it? Is it Meet Me in the Bathroom? And then here, you take Juice Box. You take Eyes of the World. Probably Vision of Division. Let me just listen on the other side real quick. Oh, on the other side's great. Super groovy, super good. Yeah, B-sides for this record, I don't know. I didn't look if there were any. Didn't really care. But what was I listening to when I found this record? Yeah, I was listening to the singles when I was a kid in the car. And then really got into it probably 2, 3, 4 years ago. Really started digging it. Oh, the album art. The album art. The album art's okay. I think it's lackluster for how cool this album is. The album art is like the most plain boring out of any Strokes record. I would say it's the worst album art out of their album art, even including the New Abnormal. New Abnormal, not a good album cover. Bad album cover. Bad, bad, bad. First two, good. Angles, good. Come Down Machine, more boring, but good. Yeah. New Abnormal, no, bueno. Yeah, this is so funny. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to skip on the other side now. Vision of Division, so good. Yeah. When you're just talking about a band hitting at all cylinders, that's what you're getting on this record. How are the lyrics? The lyrics are good. They're vulnerable and brutal, like always. It is just interesting, though, because, after this, the Strokes stop really being the Strokes, and they start, eking out a couple good songs here and there. It's really kind of interesting just as a fan. To go back and listen to this one, it's interesting. What am I even talking about at this point? Honestly, Eyes of the World, I'm going to listen to that. Or Fear of Sleep is good. Oh my God, Fear of Sleep is so good. Oh, it says it's like doing the guitar and the vocals are following each other. Just the call and response, the interplay, but between all of these things. It's a very clear thing you see on the White Stripes stuff, Arctic Monkey stuff, Franz Ferdinand's early stuff, the Strokes. It's just the way they put, one or two guitars with drums and bass and vocals. How do they use it? And then same backup vocals. Not really with them. The Strokes don't do that, but just kind of stacking all that shit together. It's how do you do that? And really using that. That's kind of where Television, which was a band from the 70s, 80s, that was kind of more I would say a prog indie art rock band from New York. They really kind of are the pinnacle of taking vocals and two different things and drums and bass and how do you make these things almost have an orchestra, out of them? How do you make an orchestra out of rock music? And so that's really, really good. But I feel the energy you get on some of the songs on this record isn't matched again by the Strokes later. I think it's matched next time you see that energy is on a little bit of the Void stuff when it comes to the more chaotic and punky and just rah, 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 really intense stuff. But the really emotional, brutal, heart-wrenching, so real, makes me have character development stuff. That's on Albert Hammond Jr., the rhythm guitarist from the Strokes. That's on his record, Francis Trouble. And I believe the concept for that record, too, is apparently he was supposed to be twins when his parents, were having birthed him. And they were going to name his other brother Francis, his brother. But then the twin got miscarried, and he was the only son. And so kind of has lots of musings on that idea of I had a brother that got dissolved in the womb. my brother Francis, and like just kind of those ideas of like, am I like both myself and Francis, like tied into one being? Did I eat my brother? Like, you're contending with real shit when you make that record. And it really comes through, and the record's so good. And going through that stuff, like, you're gonna have to go through it anyways, but the fact that he did that on a record just, really helped me go through a lot of stuff before in life. And so I think that's what rock music can really do. And I think that's what a good record can do. I think a good record moves you, a good rock record at least. And if it doesn't move you and it feels like it's fine, it's pleasant, it's good, it's quaint, it works, it doesn't move you, it's like, that's how you know, like, the records that will never be forgotten are the ones that do hit you, that do make you feel and work through something, or just really bring you to a different place emotionally. And every time you listen through it, or you listen through a couple songs at a time, you just become a better person. You understand a different part of yourself. You get a deeper appreciation for life and your existence. That those records never die. And this record's one of them. And Francis Trouble, like I talked about, is one of them. The Two Strokes records after this are not two of those records, unfortunately, but the first two are. And it's bittersweet when you have a record that that is this good and that hits you on that level and that really works as a record and really a vehicle for personal development. It's funny, I think, this is even therapeutic for me, doing these podcasts, but oddly, I think brilliant rock records are therapeutic. They aid in personal development. I think a really good movie, likewise. It has the same attribute. It builds you up as a person. It can tear you down. You can tear yourself down. You can build yourself up. You can do all these things. We do it to ourselves. We do. And that's why it really hurts. But it's these things that are real that we feel. It's these things that are real that we come back to. We can't escape. Even if I listen to this record over and over and over, I'll get sick of it for a time. But I'm always going to come back to it. I'm always going to come back to this record. I'm always going to come back to the first Strokes record. I'm always going to come back to them. And I can't say that for the other records, these guys are all going to be dead someday. We're all going to be dead someday. And when I sit there, I'm still going to feel this. Still going to feel like they're right there putting their hand on my shoulder saying, hey, you got this. We're okay. It's all okay. We've all been there. And look at where we got now. At that level of glory and triumph, I just feel like this record was them getting back to their classic rock roots. Even listening to 15 minutes when it starts to pick up, it feels like they're having fun, a little more surfy, a little more classic rock, but also just goofing around. But Julian insists on being true, and Fab on the drums. It's just he's doing so much heavy lifting because you have him go from sparse, laid back. It's just he's giving it, and you can hear him changing and going through those emotions, and you can hear Julian in his voice. You can hear Albert just going down on the fucking guitar. You're just going down. You're slamming it. You feel him going through it. Friggin' Nikolai on the bass is doing good. He's just kind of there, though. I forget the other guitarist. Oh, my God. What's his name? Oh, my God. Who's the lead guitarist of The Strokes? The Strokes. Lead guitar. What? No. Is he the lead guitarist? I guess he's the lead guitarist. Oh, Nick Valenci. Nick Valenci, when you hear him just going for a solo, or maybe it's Albert going for the solo, just like the end of this song is similar to Let There Be Rock by AC/DC, which is actually kind of funny. It's just you hear them going through the emotions. You hear them going through it. You hear them swimming upstream. They're the salmon heading back. They're walking in on their wife cheating on them. They're getting their tire popped. They're getting their shit kicked in because they went down the wrong street. They're trying to get their hair to work. Their hair won't work. Their hair won't sit down, be still for a minute. It's popping up, going everywhere. They're just going on miserable dates. They're pumping their gas, stubbing their toe, and learning and becoming okay with that. Just taking it as it comes. You ask me anything, What'll I tell you? We all need a good record. You can't listen to this, ask me anything. Oh, Electric Cityscape is so cool. So cool. Yeah, this is an inspirational record. Just as in, they really go creative on it, and it attempts to drop. Oh my God, it says the temperature in Phoenix, Arizona is going to drop. Wow, I really care. Anyways, yeah, this is the best era. Like the first three records, that's the best era to see the band live. The lyrics are good. What's Gen Z going to think this record? It's cool. It's interesting. Maybe less accessible. They don't really get it. Older rock fans might be like, it's fine. They're probably not going to have as much depth. Could be wrong, though. Might not have that. But this is the end of the Strokes' golden era. And then we go into the Silver Age, where there's still great stuff happening with the Strokes, but it is not smooth sailing. This is definitely them firing all cylinders for the third album in a row. And then we head into Angles, where they didn't really like each other. But yeah, listen to this record. I would listen to Room on Fire first, though. If you've heard Room on Fire, then listen to this record all the way through. It's longer, a lot longer. It feels longer. These songs, though, are less iconic and singular, and they're more of a journey. They're more of a song, a journey within and of themselves. So each song takes you a different place. It takes you on that journey. The other records, together, they take you somewhere. So they're a little more cohesive. This is a little more of a assortment of different things, but it's so good. So yeah, go listen to First Impressions Earth. And then if you like that, you're going to come back here. And actually, you do want to see, as we exit the Golden Age, you do want to come listen to the podcast, come watch the video, come see the next one where we're talking about Angles. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss out on Angles. Angles is good. It's juicy. It's juicy. And then come back machine, come down machine. Sorry. But come and see Angles, okay? Right now, you got to go watch it, okay? You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Did you click it? Did you click it? Did you click it? Click the video. The strokes, Angles. Does it still hold up? I don't know. See you there and rock on.